you think?
I thought it was structured really well. I liked how he played the guitar because it kept me entertained, and I thought it was different, and I thought that was cool. And I think he did a pretty good job. He said like a little bit too much in the intro, but other than that, I think he did a good job.
All right, Anthony, I thought that the introduction was really solid. Your thesis is maybe a little broad, and similar kind of thing with the justification that I might have mentioned before. It's a little mechanical in the sense that, I've been doing, I've looked at this for 2 weeks, and you're going through that whole thing, and I know everybody's trying to mimic what they see in the examples. It needs to be a little more natural. I think it would make more sense for you to talk, for instance, like you did right at the end of that about how long you'd been playing and why you were drawn to it. That would work better as the credibility as opposed to just making reference to the obvious speaking context. Definitions are okay. I think you miss a trick with maybe some visuals showing us the evolution of the bass, contrast, for instance, to the stand-up bass, the traditional orchestral bass.
Would it be better to show that?
Well, I mean, I could see a single picture, for instance, like a dual-sided picture. Here's the traditional, and here's the first version of that electric bass that you're talking about. Something like that would have been quick and easy, and instead of having to kind of go through the whole motions of describing things, it would shorten that up a little bit, because you're going to need the time. You go 9 minutes and 30 seconds, so you're over time by 1.5 minutes, and a lot of that's because you have to do setup and you're doing the playing kind of thing later on, so you have to figure out where can I cut back in other places. If you don't want to cut back there, then you got to cut back in some other places. I thought you cited material pretty well at the first part of the speech. Later on, we didn't get as much citation. A lot of it's personal experience, especially when you're doing that last section where you're doing the contrast and the way the things are going. Oh, I wanted to say back on the attention device, by the way, that I really like the analogy that you used as your attention device. I thought that worked really well. This might have been a good situation where coming back to that would be a good idea at the end of the speech, too. The visuals, I think you plan things pretty well, including the sound auditory aids. Maybe those little incidents of playing, I think everybody enjoys that, and it works in well with what you're trying to illustrate there. But there is, each one maybe goes 10 seconds too long, so if you cut those down, that would help control the time a little bit. And then if you also had something to say while you were doing some of that, maybe 1 or 2 comments, for instance, you kind of introduce them and you say some things there, but if you also had something to say during that, I think it would work a little better. All right, thank you.